Let's go look at the homework for section 5.2, more properties of exponents. Let's do a quick review on what properties you know so far. You should know that if you multiply like bases, a to the m times a to the n, you get a to the m plus n. You should also know that if you divide like bases, a to the m over a to the n, you subtract the exponents, a to the m minus n. And now we're going to learn if you have a to the m to the n, you multiply the exponents. That's a to the m times n. All right, so let's go start with number 1. Simplify and write answers in exponent form using the given base. So 2 to the 6 to the 8th is going to be 2 to the 6 times 8, which is going to be 2 to the 48. Number 2, w times w squared, all to the 4th. Okay, order of operations, you need to do what's in the parentheses first. So we're going to have w to the 1 times w squared is going to be w to the 1 plus 2, which will be w to the 3rd. Now, w to the 3rd to the 4th, you're going to multiply the exponents. So that's w to the 3 times 4, which is w to the 12th. Okay, evaluate the two expressions and compare the answers. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is 9 cubed to the 4th. So that's going to be 9 to the 3 times 4, which is 9 to the 12th. Second thing we're going to look at is 9 to the 4th cubed. So that's going to be 9 to the 4 times 3, which is 9 to the 12th. Now you use a symbol to compare the two expressions. So the expression's 9 cubed to the 4th, that's equal to 9 to the 4th cubed. Because we saw that they were both 9 to the 12th, right? Okay, before we do question number 4, I'm going to go give you 2 new rules. We're going to see the rule a times b to the m. When you're multiplying, you can give that exponent to both factors. That's a to the m times b to the m. You can also distribute an exponent if you're dividing. A divided by b to the m is a to the m divided by b to the m. So you can distribute an exponent when you're multiplying or dividing. All right, so let's go look at 3w squared. You see that you're multiplying 3 times w, so you actually have 3 times w squared. So that's going to be 3 squared times w squared. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9, and then w squared. Now another way to look at this one, if you didn't see that you should distribute the exponent, 3w squared is actually 3w times 3w. That's what 3w quantity squared means. Now I can use multiplication, the associative and commutative properties, and that's 3 times 3 times w times w. Well, that's going to be 9 w to the 1 plus 1, so 9w squared. I think this way is quicker and easier. Question 5. 2 divided by y, quantity cubed. All right, here we go. That's going to be 2 cubed over y cubed. Okay, what is 2 cubed? 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. If you want to do that on your calculator, 2 cubed is 8. So we have 8 over y cubed. Now you could have written that as 2 over y times 2 over y times 2 over y. 2 times 2 times 2 over y times y times y is 8 over y cubed. I encourage you to do it this way, though, because that's learning the new rules. Number 6, you have negative 3y quantity cubed. So I'm going to write that as negative 3 times y cubed. So that's negative 3 cubed y cubed. Now, what is negative 3 quantity cubed? Notice how I kept the parentheses because I'm wanting all of the negative 3 cubed. So parentheses negative 3 cubed is going to be negative 27. Now, if you typed in negative 3 cubed, you're still going to get negative 27 because it's an odd power. But be careful. It's not the second one. It's actually this first one. So I get negative 27 y cubed. Number 7, the quantity negative 2 xyz quantity cubed. So reminding you that's negative 2 times x times y times z all cubed. Since I've got multiplication in here, I can distribute that 3 to everybody. So keeping the parentheses, I've got negative 2 cubed, x cubed, y cubed, z cubed. Now what is negative 2 quantity cubed? Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. Negative 8 x cubed, y cubed, z cubed. All right, I have question 8. The quantity negative 2 over s to the 6th. Okay, this is dividing, so I can distribute the exponent to the top and the bottom. So I've got parenthesis negative 2 to the 6th over s to the 6th. Now what is negative 2 quantity to the 6th? Negative 2 to the 6th is 64. So I end up with 64 over s to the 6th. Number 9, simplify the quantity negative m to the 4th all to the 4th. So inside that parenthesis, I have negative 1 times m to the 4th, all to the 4th power. Because this is not, it wasn't written like that. So we actually have this negative 1 out front. Now I need to distribute this 4th to both factors. So I have negative 1 to the 4th, m to the 4th to the 4th. So what is negative 1 to the 4th? I get 1. So this is 1 times, okay, when I have a power to a power, what do? You're going to multiply the exponents. 1 times m to the 16th is just m to the 16th. Number 10, they're going to start getting a little bit more complicated. Simplify 4 over h times k to the 4th all to the 5th power. Okay, first thing I'm going to notice is that I have this division. So I can give this fifth power to the top and to the bottom. So I'm going to write it as 4 to the fifth over h times k to the fourth all to the fifth. So I gave this 5 to the numerator and the denominator. Now I notice that I have multiplication in the denominator, so I'm going to give that 5 to both factors. What is 4 to the fifth? 4 to the fifth power is 1024. And then I have h to the fifth, k to the fourth to the fifth. When you have a power to a power, you're going to multiply the exponents. So I have 1024 over h to the fifth, k to the 4 times 5 is 20. Number 11. Again, I have an exponent and I've got division down here, so I'm going to give that 5 to the numerator and the denominator. In the numerator, I have 4 times p to the fifth, and then I'm going to raise it to the fifth power, over q cubed to the fifth power. Since I have multiplication up top, I can distribute that 5 to both factors. So that's 4 to the fifth times p to the fifth to the fifth. Now, q to the third to the fifth, I'm going to multiply the exponents, power to a power. Q to the 3 times 5. What is 4 to the fifth? 4 to the fifth is 1024. Now, p to the fifth, you multiply those exponents. I'm not going to write it out. But p to the 5 times 5 is 25. And in the denominator, I have q to the 3 times 5, which is 15. Number 12. I have access to a lot of powers. Okay, x to the 2 to the 2. I'm going to multiply those exponents. So 2 times 2 is 4. X to the 4 to the 3 is going to be x to the 4 times 3, which is 12, over x to the 4 to the 3 is x to the 12, 4 times 3. All right. Hopefully you see x to the 12th up top and x to the 12th on the bottom. So those would cancel. If you don't see that, and you want to go all the way through, x to the 4 times x to the 12 is x to the 4 plus 12. 4 plus 12 is x to the 16th over x to the 12th. Now, when you're dividing like bases, you subtract the exponents. So that's x to the 16 minus 12, which is x to the 4. If you had canceled the common factors in the numerator and denominator, you would have been left with just x to the 4th. Number 13. First thing I see is this cubed. I need to give it to everybody. So I have 2 cubed, a cubed cubed, b squared cubed. Now for the second one, this squared I need to give to everybody. So I have 3 squared, a to the 5th squared, and b to the 4th squared. All right, what is 2 cubed? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So I have 8. Now, a power to a power, I'm going to multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. b squared cubed, power to a power, you multiply 2 times 3, which is 6. 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9. A to the 5th squared, you're going to multiply the exponents. That's going to be to the 10th. And one more, b to the 4th squared. 4 times 2 is 8. All right. Now, what is 8 times 9? That's 72. Now for the a's, a to the 9th. A to the 9th times a to the 10th is going to be a to the 9 plus 10. B to the 6th times b to the 8th is going to be b to the 6 plus 8. So your final answer will be 72, a to the 19th, b to the 14th. Number 14. First thing I see is this division and a cubed. So I need to give that cube to the numerator and to the denominator. So 3c to the 5th, d to the 5th, all cubed, over 4c to the 4th, d, all cubed. Okay, now I need to give this cubed up top to everybody. So I'll have 3 cubed, c to the 5th cubed, d to the 5th cubed, all over, and I'm going to distribute that 3 on the bottom to everybody. So that's going to be 4 cubed, c to the 4th cubed, and d cubed. Okay, what is 3 cubed? 3 cubed is 27. Okay, c to the 5 times 3 would be 15. D to the 5 times 3 is going to be 15, over 4 cubed, which is 64. Now, c to the 4 times 3 is c to the 12, d cubed. All right, one more step. We can't simplify the number, so it's going to be 27 over 64. But we can simplify c to the 15 over c to the 12 is going to be c to the 15 minus 12. And d to the 15 over d to the 3 is going to be d to the 15 minus 3. So we'll have 27, c to the 15 minus 12 is 3, d to the 15 minus 3 is 12, all over 64. Number 15, simplify. I see division, so I'm going to give that exponent to the numerator and the denominator. M to the 7th to the b, n to the 2nd to the b. How do you do a power to a power? You multiply m to the 7 times b over n to the 2 times b. So that's just going to be m to the 7b over n to the 2b. That's all you can do. All right, last problem. I see division and I see an exponent. So I'm going to give the exponent to the numerator and denominator. 2 times m to the 7th to the b over 5 times n to the 5th all to the b. Now I'm going to give the b to both terms up top. So I have 2 to the b, m to the 7 to the b, over, giving the b to both factors in the denominator. I have 5 to the b, n to the 5th to the b. So one more step. I have 2 to the b. Okay, m to the 7 to the b, multiply. So 7 times b is 7b. 5 to the b, n to the 5 times b is just 5b. And that's it for the homework.